In this video, we are going to discuss the process of translation. The translation is basically the process of formation of proteins from the RNA. So here is the mRNA, which we call mRNA. It gets converted into the proteins by a process of this translation. So how this process occurs, what are the various things which we need to consider while discussing this whole process. So let us see. First of all, we need to discuss about the structure of tRNA. tRNA is very important, known as transfer RNA. It helps in transferring of the amino acid basically. So here we'll see the structure of tRNA. So this whole is the structure of tRNA, you can see, right? So now tRNA, it basically decodes the mRNA sequence. So the function is decoding mRNA sequence. Now the question arises, why it decodes the mRNA sequence? Because it forms the proteins by decoding the sequence, right? So formation of protein occurs. Now this tRNA function at a specific site in the ribosome during the translation, and as we all know that ribosome, it is known as the cellular factories for protein synthesis, or protein factories we can call it. So this whole is the structure of the tRNA, where you can see there is an acceptor arm at 3' end. This is acceptor arm, right? So you can see the amino acid glutamic acid, it is being binded to this side or this arm. Then there is on the right hand side, you can see this arm. This is known as T psi C loop. We call it as T arm as well. T arm. Now this T arm basically is the recognition site for ribosome. Recognition site for ribosome. So this forms tRNA ribosome complex. tRNA ribosome complex, right? So it binds to the surface of the ribosome. This in this T phi C loop, T is basically thymidine. This is very important. Then this is phi, means pseudo, pseudo, pseudo uridine, and the C means cytidine. So all these are the residues: thymidine, pseudouridine, cytidine. These are the residues, right? Then here below you can see there is anticodon loop. This is known as A loop or anticodon loop. Now what is the function of this anticodon loop? It basically pairs with mRNA, and it helps in determination of which amino acid is to be attached to the acceptor, right? So this pairs with mRNA. So you can see in the structure, it is pairing with the mRNA. So this anticodon loop is having CUC codon, right, which is getting paired with GAG codon, which is present in the mRNA, right? Then on the left hand side, you can see this arm. This is known as D arm, right? This D arm contains modified nucleotide named as dihydrouridine, HYDRO uridine, dihydrouridine. That is why its name is D arm, right? So this dihydrouridine is basically contains 7 to 11 bases, and this is closed by base pairing. You can see base pairing inside the tRNA, right? So this D arm, what is the function of this arm? D arm this D arm act as recognition site for an enzyme known as amino acyl tRNA synthetase. So this enzyme amino acyl tRNA synthetase, so the D loop or D arm is basically the site for this enzyme, right? So this enzyme is involved in amino acylation of tRNA. Now let me tell you what is amino acylation of tRNA. Amino acylation of tRNA. It is basically known as charging of tRNA. Here the amino acid is activated by the ATP, or in the presence of ATP, so it will bind to the its cognate tRNA. So you can see here it is binded to this arm, 3' arm, right? So amino acylation of tRNA means activation of amino acid. I am writing it as AA, amino acid, right, in the presence of ATP. Presence of ATP. This reaction is very important because now the tRNA is carrying the amino acid. So when the two tRNAs carrying the respective amino acids, when they are brought closer to each other, then the peptide bond formation between the two amino acid is possible, and this is how the whole polypeptide is being synthesized. So now you can see there is one more group here, one more thing here. This loop is known as variable loop. Okay, so this is the whole structure of the tRNA. This is very important because tRNA brings the amino acid, right? Now moving ahead, here we can see the structure of a ribosome. You can see the larger subunit of the ribosome here and the small subunit. So when this small subunit encounters the mRNA, you can see the mRNA, right? So when it encounters the mRNA, then the tRNA having a particular anticodon, it will come to the to read this code which is present on the mRNA. So here suppose the tRNA, it enters from one side. Suppose it enters from here, so this is the entry point, right? Entry. Okay, so this is the amino acid entry site, so we will write it as A site. So this is A site, okay, and this site is P site, the middle one. P means peptidal tRNA binding site. We call it peptidal tRNA binding site, right? So this is the site where you can see the two amino acid, there is the formation of peptide bond here, right? And the third site is E site. We can call it exit, means the tRNA which is bringing amino acid to this ribosome, it will exit from here, right? So this is known as E site. So there are three sites, E, P and A site, right? Now coming to the process of translation. So this whole process occurs in 3 steps, just like the case of transcription. There is initiation, then there is elongation, and then third step is termination. Now during initiation the whole process gets start, and you can see the translation unit. Now we call it translation unit. So this translation unit, you can see here the mRNA. So this translation unit is having start codon. Somewhere it is having start codon, and from this start codon the process of translation will start, and then it will proceed as it will come under the process of elongation. Then during termination, some of the release factors will terminate the whole process, release factors, which we can write it as RF. So they will help in termination of the whole process. Now let me draw this. Suppose see, you can see these are the anticodons. They are complementary to the codons on the mRNA, right? So suppose I'm making a sequence here, AUG, AUC, right, UCG, suppose, okay, let it UAA, suppose, right. This UAA is the stop codon, okay, so it will terminate the whole process, stop codon. And this AUG is the start codon, initiator codon we call it. We can call it start codon as well, though it codes for an amino acid methionine also, start codon. So in between it has formed AUC. So this AUG, I am telling you that it codes for methionine as well. So let it code for methionine, which is the amino acid. This AUC codes for, suppose, isoleucine. Then is UCG, suppose it code for serine, SER. Let me write it as serine. This UAA is the stop codon. So here these three amino acids, they will be joined by peptide bond and they will form this structure. So it forms structure like this. So a chain of the peptide or protein is being formed here, right? And moreover, I just want to tell you here that this side is known as C terminus, right? C terminus. Why it is known as C terminus? Because it is having the carboxyl group on the right hand side, okay. Then this side of the amino acid, it is known as N terminus. Now why it is known as N terminus? Because it is having the amine group, right? So there are two terminus, one is N terminus and the C terminus. So this whole structure basically forms the peptide or polypeptide, or we can call it protein, right? So let us see the whole diagram in more detail. So here you can see 5' to 3', this is the mRNA, okay, and you can see here is the start codon. So the anticodon, which is complementary to it, it will bind here and the process of translation will be started, okay. You can see the two subunits of the ribosome, one is the large subunit and the other one is a small subunit, okay. And you can see the UAG, which is stop codon. So after the chain of polypeptide gets synthesized, it will stop here, okay. Now there are three steps, as I told you. First step is initiation. So this translation complex gets formed and tRNA binds to first amino acid in the polypeptide chain to bind to start codon on the mRNA. So it has binded to the start codon AUG, right. Now the elongation process will be there. So the tRNA will bring amino acid one by one to add to the polypeptide chain. So you can see these amino acids, they are being joined to form polypeptide chain. So peptide bond formation occurs in between these amino acids and the whole chain of polypeptide or protein is being formed. After it gets completed, the chain, so here the release factor will bind, that I already told you. So this release factor will bind and the stop codon helps in termination of the whole process, and finally we get the protein, right. So this is the whole process.